Holy and undivided Trinity, one God.
Amen.
I find doomsday preppers endlessly fascinating. I'm slightly embarrassed to admit this, but it's true. My Instagram feed features not just professional triathletes and mommy bloggers, but also the exploits of chosen few homesteading preppers whose politics I may disagree with, but whose way of life piques my curiosity for reasons I cannot quite explain. Now, to be clear, there are many kinds of preppers, because how you prepare depends on the kind of apocalypse you think is coming. Is it the kind of doom that requires us to hunker down in our homes and stockpile food and toilet paper, spring 2020, anyone? Or is it the kind of catastrophe that will force humans to live nomadically off the land, forsaking the comforts of home and relying on our physical strength to survive? Those are two very different kinds of disaster, and therefore two very different kinds of preparation. In today's gospel reading, this enigmatic parable of the bridesmaids and the bridegroom speaks to this human urge to prepare. For what? Unclear. A wedding feast is thrown. As part of a set of wedding customs that are mysterious to our modern ears, 10 bridesmaids await the coming of the bridegroom for hours and hours, late into the night, holding oil lamps as signs of their expected hope. Now, a surface-level reading of this parable would have us believe that some of the bridesmaids were wise, whereas others were foolish. But what if it's not that simple? After all, it's a parable. We can never take them at face value. They are meant to draw us deeper and deeper into the mystery of God. So if the punchline of this parable, as we see in this dramatic ending verse, is that we can neither know the day nor the hour when God will come to meet us, then how exactly are we supposed to prepare? What are we preparing for? What will we need? Are we preparing for the cataclysmic events detailed in the book of Revelation? Or are we, as Matthew is suggesting, preparing for a wedding banquet, a feast of joy and union? Which is it? At best, when we try to prepare for the coming of God, we are taking a shot in the dark. There are as many theories about the end times as there are stars in the sky. Ultimately, we have no idea what is going to happen or when. And in all likelihood, whatever happens, whenever it happens, by sheer dumb luck, some of us will be prepared and some of us won't. And what will we do then? Will we behave like the so-called wise bridesmaids and hoard our resources for fear that there won't be enough? Will we have the audacity to enter the banquet of our God knowing that there are others left clamoring outside the gates? And is God the gatekeeper, or are we? What kind of banquet would that be? Is it a banquet we really want to be invited to? Or will we have the courage to write a different ending to this parable? Will we trust that the coming reign of God is one of wild abundance and profligate love? Will we dare to loosen our grip on what we hope will protect us and lean into the bliss and magic of community? Can we see the foolish bridesmaids' lack of preparation not as a moral failure, but as an invitation to live generously, to share the light of Christ kindled within our hearts until no one is left in darkness? This reading, curious though it is oddly apropos of the very unexpected circumstances we are celebrating today in the life of our parish. I know you're all wondering. Yes, we are marking the end of our stewardship campaign, and that is always good news, but that is not unexpected. And today, we have the added privilege of celebrating something that most congregations never get to. And I want to say a word about that. For years, for much longer than I have been here, St. Lawrence has been trying to prepare for the unknown. The sale of the building, the move to where and when, the switch to what kind of life as a parish? Tomorrow, in 3 years? When you called me as your rector, you called me to walk into the unknown with you, to prepare for the unpreparable. And few know better than all of you that we cannot know what tomorrow will bring, and how difficult it is to prepare for what we cannot anticipate. But today, friends, we celebrate the unthinkable. The full and complete payment of one of our 2 mortgage notes. 2 months earlier than planned, because surprise, God's timeline never matches ours. That piece of debt, that $1.8 million millstone that has been hanging around our necks for decades, is gone. It is gone. It is finished. It is erased forever, and I get chills just saying it because it is miraculous and glorious, and we never thought it would happen this way, did we? No, we didn't. And it is fascinating to see this news through the lens of the parable of the bridesmaids. Because did this grace come to us because we were virtuously well prepared? Most certainly not. If anything, the early part of our story looks more like that of the foolish bridesmaids. Are you getting why I don't love the terms wise and foolish here? We realized what felt like too late that we were going to run out of oil. We scrambled to find more. We were unsuccessful. And then we were delivered not because we had the perfect plan from the beginning, but because of outrageous generosity we never could have anticipated. We are here because someone else took the risk of sharing their oil with us, right when we were going to run out. So the real question for us is, were we awake enough to receive this outpouring of grace when it came? And that answer is a resounding yes. And that, friends, is what matters. Not how prepared were we, but were we awake? Are we awake to the outrageous, abundant generosity of our God? We're not out of the woods yet. We still have one more mortgage note to pay off, which means, yes, we will do this again. We will celebrate again. In a few years, we will get there. But we need to celebrate. Because we are witnesses to an abundance that defies logic and explanation, an abundance that can only make us fall to our knees in awe and say, thank you. This is not the kind of abundance that leaves us unchanged. So how will we live now, St. Lawrence? Will we be the wise bridesmaids of our gospel parable and hoard our resources, clutching what we have for fear that it will be taken away again? Or will we dare to live abundantly and generously and courageously, sharing what we have been given with the world in need? Because in truth, friends, we know neither the day nor the hour, and nothing is promised except what we have right now. And maybe, just maybe,